going to try this again. So I'm just waiting for Stacy to join. She's one of my clients, so we'll just give her a second here. Sorry, just be a second until Stacy joins here. Oh, there she is. Okay. Let's hope the sound works better this time. All right. We'll see. I don't know.
Okay. Is it any better?
No, we'll just roll with it. I don't know. Maybe it's my phone. Maybe. So we'll just roll with it. You know what I mean? Just go with it. So yeah, we'll go back to the first question. So kind of restart that here in a little bit. So I'm a functional coach. Stacy came to me. She had a lot of health issues. She signed up for my 3-month program. We're kind of going to talk about her journey, what she experienced. So I'm going to ask her some questions, and we're just going to kind of talk about it. And then you guys can ask some questions at the end if you have anything. So we'll kind of start with, what was your day-to-day life like before we started working together?
Well, I have a lot of issues. So my list is pretty long of like bad things that I dealt with. So to begin with, my biggest struggle was heartburn. Like I had heartburn 24/7, and I mean like I had to sleep sitting up. I actually woke up several times throughout the night to take Tums. So it was like I lived off Tums 24/7. That was my biggest thing. No matter what I ate, I had heartburn 24/7. At least once a month, like I was even throwing up, and I was getting up in the middle of the night with diarrhea, just random, and I like night sweats. It was horrible. Like I could never sleep. The other thing is I had really high inflammation, and my doctor even knew about my inflammation. So the inflammation level, if you ever get your blood work done, is supposed to be like 3 or less, and mine was 12, so it was quadruple. Mine was actually quadruple. They never questioned it. They just told me my number and let me on my way. So I had tons of inflammation, which caused a lot of joint pain, and they just kept saying it's just probably your Lyme disease. And I would wake up every single day. My fingers hurt so bad. I actually went to a rheumatoid arthritis specialist. Like I have seen every doctor you can think of. So for the joint pain, they thought I had like maybe a beginning of rheumatoid arthritis, but it came back negative. I've been told because of my stomach issues, I just had IBS. Like that was it. They didn't do anything about it. I had 3 colonoscopies in my life before I even hit 40. So I had three colonoscopies and scopes, and they said everything was fine. And then I was also on birth control for 25 years, and they never told me that was wrong. So
right.
That was my life. Nobody would help me.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane how many girls tell me they go and they get these colonoscopies done. They're like, oh, the doctor says I'm normal, but they're having these laundry list of issues. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's just sad that, because I even been there too, where I remember having really bad gut pains, and they're like, oh, here's some heartburn medicine, you know what I mean? And
they tried to give me Nexium, and I said no. Like that's actually what I think caused the problem. My family doctor put me on Nexium for 7 years, which I have then found out that you should never be on it that long. Yeah. So then it ruined my stomach lining. And
yeah, and it suppresses your acid anyways. We'll touch base on that, because now, because so obviously, yeah, when you have heartburn, doctors are automatically there to prescribe you heartburn medicine, when all in reality you don't have high acid. It's most likely you have low acid, because your food's not able to digest or break down, so you're getting that backflow. That's what's causing the reflux, you know what I mean? So doctors are actually suppressing it more, so it's causing your issues to be worsened, you know what I mean? So I do remember you telling me that in the beginning. You're like, I have all this acid reflux, like I wake up night, I vomit, I can't eat like hardly any food. I'm like, oh, don't worry, I'll get you eating food.
I know. So I was afraid. So when I met Ashley, and it was actually just Facebook recommended her, and that's actually how we met. And I just remember the first thing was I was afraid of food. I was afraid to eat because and she's like, no, you can't be like that. I'm like, but I am, because I had so many problems, and they just always said it was my inflammation. It was my Lyme. My IBS was stress. My brain fog was Lyme. Like, they always just blew it off or blamed it on something else. So that was
well, what I did for Stacy, kind of just to touch base, depending what are people's health problems or whatnot. So normally, if you have a laundry list of issues, or if you have simple as I have bloating, I put a lot of my girls through a gut protocol the first about essentially 10 to 12 days. And this is what essentially we did with Stacy. And I told her it was going to be a lot of food. I said, you just got to trust me, and supplements were involved, because sometimes the body's it's not working like it should in a way, and it needs a little assistance. If you're so far gone, like with inflammation, all these laundry list of issues, your body's got to struggle anyways. Food alone won't heal your body. I mean, she was eating healthy food, and it wasn't even helping. So there goes to show how food doesn't 100% heal you. You need a little help. And now where people go wrong with supplements is you're not buying quality supplements. And that's where people go. If you go to Walgreens, it's not going to be trusted versus a company that's third-party tested. Like, it's actually what they say is in the product is actually what it is, and actually the dose of it. So we did a combination of some supplements, stress management, foods. And what'd you say? Probably by the second or third day, didn't your acid reflux kind of lit up?
Oh, it was like the third day, and it was gone. I was like so happy, because I had lived with it for so long. It was like the third day, and it was gone.
I remember you're telling me I don't have to chew Tums like candy anymore.
I know. And I haven't even, it's been amazing. That third day was like, that was it. It kicked in.
Yeah, it was just insane. And you were on no heartburn medicine, no Tums. Like, that's what I'm telling people, do not need to be on that crap. They don't. They just need to address the underlying root issue, which we were getting to. So essentially now, like, what is it like for you now? Like, what has changed for you since then? Like, it could be from, how you feel to food, what's different for you from then to now?
Definitely. So the now is definitely no heartburn. I mean, there has been so next month will be a year. I think I started last November. And originally it was just going to be 3 months. Then I realized I had other issues, because nobody ever wanted to help me find the real issue. So now I have no heartburn. I've only ever had it like maybe twice, and that was because of a certain food that we found out triggered it. And before I didn't know that. So and I don't get up in the middle of the night anymore. I don't vomit anymore. I know. It's so nice to be able to just sleep.
I know,
and I don't have to sleep sitting up. It's just my inflammation was a big thing too, because we had it rechecked, and within like 6 months of working with Ashley, it was cut in half.
That was amazing.
Yeah. So and I don't have any joint pain. Like, I wake up, I'm fine. I feel like I'm not
60
80 anymore.
Like you're like 60 years old or anything like that.
Yeah, like they were so like swollen and hurt, and they just kept saying it was my Lyme, but it's not. I don't have any more joint pain. I have regular bowel movements now with the help of magnesium. Like you said, need Yep.
It's still
Need that.
it's the old like holy grail, you know what I mean? It's a lot of people need it. They don't know they're deficient in it. You know what I mean? I have to take magnesium every day. It's just something we have to take. But you know what? It's a good mineral to take anyways because it helps with anxiety, stress, helps with insulin levels, pooping, sleeping. So, you know, it's a great supplement to be on in general.
It is. Yeah. I think I'll probably forever have magnesium in my life because that's just one of the things I have to have. And I'm okay with that because I feel better. I'm not as bloated. Even like I eat more food than I've ever have because I was just afraid of food. And when she started the plan for me, I was like, how am I going to be able to eat this many carbs and lose weight? Like, I didn't even believe this was going to work. As soon as I saw the carbs, I'm like, I can't have that much because in my mind, I thought
that was the bad guy.
That's bad. So I was on high carbs in my mind, and now, so I don't feel as bad eating carbs. I was terrified of them, and she taught me so much about what you actually need carbs, like to be healthy and for your brain function and all these crazy things.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know you need carbs for actual thyroid conversion. So when you go on keto, you know, you're all essentially down regulating your thyroid. A lot of people don't know that. So you can start feeling more tired. So yeah, our thyroid thrives off of carbs. So that's where women go wrong right there, doing low carb and keto. There's a time and place. Like, I'm not knocking them diets, but there's a time and a place. Like for keto, I'll do it for diabetics to reset their insulin. That's the big thing, but it's only run short term. So there's different reasons. You know, I'll do a low carb, high carb rotation if I'm killing off like bacterial overgrowth. Like there's everything out there for a certain reason. It's just, you know, obviously they aren't sustainable. So you have to do a sustainable plan. So, but yeah, I mean, that's just crazy. Like, you know,
so
you just kind of seen it.
More food now than I ever have. And even when we first started the 2-week flush, I was like, I can't eat all of this food because I wasn't used to it. So it was, I don't know. So that's definitely changed. And overall, I just feel better. I'm happier. I like myself again. Like once you get in that rut, it's hard. It was not eating when you don't feel good, then you don't, you know, you don't have a positive attitude. But now I feel better and like I like myself again. So that's definitely
we even noticed too, like you had some French fries the other day. You didn't get like bloat or have acid reflux. You did before, I believe you bloated real bad, and like right there is a good sign. You know what I mean? That we made some really good, you know, progress with that. And, you know, I know you mentioned, and if anybody watching, you know, Stacy said she's been with me for a year. She's just the type of person, you know, really wants to get to her root issue. She's like, I just want to go all in and do all the things. You know, I have some people that just work in 3 months, just as long as they feel better, then they normally go on their own. You know what I mean? A lot of people do, but you know, some people want to go all in and they want to get rid of all their issues, you know, really understand everything. And we also found in Stacy, which the doctor missed, that she has Hashimoto's, and we caught it before it actually damaged her actual thyroid. And when doctors catch Hashi's, it's already too late. It did the damage, but we caught it before it did the damage. And the doctors weren't concerned. I'm like, what the heck?
No, and I've always done blood work, and no matter what blood work I requested or wanted, they were never concerned about it. Not even with my inflammation. They weren't wondering like, why does this girl have so much inflammation? Like, like they just didn't question anything.
It's nuts.
So
it's completely crazy. And I'm going to mention this real quick. Like when people go through like the gut protocol, I do ask people how to have no caffeine, because caffeine does stress out the adrenals, and we're really trying to reset everything, detox everything. And then after the protocol, I do ask people to limit it. Stacy actually she's with pharmacy, and she has this actually really good product that if you are a coffee addict and you're trying to wean down on like caffeine, she definitely has a good product for that, because it's 60% less caffeine. You can tell them a little bit about it.
Yeah, it's a chicory root coffee, which I could not drink coffee before because my stomach just hurt. It just was very inflamed, and they diagnosed me with gastritis, so I just couldn't have anything that was going to be acidic. So it really, really just hurt my stomach, and I couldn't do it. And now that pharmacy came out with this chicory root, it's actually not a coffee bean. It's made from chicory, which is less caffeine, so it's not as harsh on your stomach, but you get your energy. It's natural energy.
Yeah, chicory root's actually good for you. The only time I would not recommend it for someone if you're pregnant, because it can actually cause uterine contractions. That's the only person I would say don't take it if you're pregnant. But otherwise, if you love caffeine and you love coffee and you want to cut down the consumption, that would be a great, go-to product. And I would be okay with it. You know what I mean? I told her she can have it a couple times a week and I'm fine with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
But I always run everything by Ashley. Like, that's just what I love. It's like she's there because I did work with somebody before, but I always had to travel, and it was just like I didn't have access. And Ashley is like somebody that I can ask to look at this for me. She always answers all my questions, and she's always there when I need her. So, like, very, very helpful to have that access.
Yeah. Now, what programs, diets, or workouts did you try before working with me?
Oh my. I have the list I made because I had to. It's been so many years of like trying to find out what's wrong with me, and since doctors didn't want to, I took it upon myself to try to figure it out. So, like, and I'm not knocking any of these. It's just things that I have tried. I tried Plexus because that's what everybody said. You just need good probiotics, and you need good this and that. So I did Plexus, and it was honestly, I could not do it. I was miserably sick. I hear a lot of people
getting sick from Plexus. So many people told me they got sick from Plexus.
Oh my, yeah. Like, I remember not being able to eat or anything for 2 days after I had to get it out of my body, finally get it through my system. And it was miserable. It was miserable.
That is crazy.
Yeah. I don't know if it was just, I don't know what's in it, or if I'm super sensitive, or just, it's different for everybody. So I did Plexus, I did Arbonne, I did Thrive. I did not have a very good reaction with Thrive. I woke up in the middle of the night on the toilet,
oh my gosh,
sweating. Like, it was bad. But some people love it, so it's just my experience. I did Zija. I did It Works, and then there's a girl. She has a book out, Danette May. I did hers, and I lost 8 pounds with her, but it wasn't. It was like a weight loss. It wasn't like healing or fixing what was wrong with me. It was more of a weight loss. So I even tried fasting myself because I thought, well, nobody's going to help me. I'm going to try it myself.
Right.
And then I just tried eating less food. I've always heard of calorie deficit. That didn't work. So that was literally like, I thought I'm going to figure it out, and nothing worked.
Right. And that's what I find these women doing, just like you. They're going through all these diets and nothing's working. It's because you're not getting to the root issue. Right. And you saw that you had to get through the issue, and all of a sudden your weight started coming off, you started feeling better, so it paid for itself. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you're definitely not alone. There's a lot of women that have tried thousands of those diets too, you know what I mean?
Right. It's just like, and they're so expensive. I spent so much money trying, on doctors first of all, and then like all these, products, just trying to see what's going to work, because everybody promised me they would work. So
right, yeah. And if you're that desperate, you're willing to do anything, you know what I mean? And so I would have been too, the way you felt, you know what I mean?
Yep.
What do you think you stayed so consistent and had results with this program? What do you think are the main key factors of why,
I think because I noticed right away, I felt like I was meant, honestly, when she showed up on my Facebook as people I may know, I was like, I don't know her, but I'm going to see who she is. It was a sign. God knew that I've been trying for years.
Yeah.
So when we did start talking, and I talked to her over the phone, I was like, this is it. If this doesn't work, then I'm done. I don't know what I'm going to do. And and I immediately felt results because we did the 2-week flush, and I stayed consistent because I started seeing results and I started feeling better. So, and I never felt like that immediately. You know, with all my issues, I just assumed it was going to take a long time to feel better. But within 3 days, I had no heartburn, and I just stayed consistent. And that's why I'm still here, like almost a year later, is because I'm still trying to heal, and there's a light at the end of the tunnel because we're so close.
Yeah, we are
now. Just
close.
Like hormones, pretty much like the only thing, and that was because they told me birth control was fine to be on for 25 years. So we're just trying to regulate my hormones.
Yeah, we're doing the I can't say it, repercussions.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get that word out after birth control. So, you know, we're trying to control things there, and the big thing is we're trying to, you know, get your insulin a little bit under control.
Yeah.
Once we do that, things will come into play. Insulin really just has a play in your hormones, your energy, weight loss, all those things as well. So we're kind of working the final components. So we'll get there. But I mean, as I told her, you always got to work gut first. So once gut is functioning more optimal, all your hormones are start working more optimal, and they might go crazy for a hot minute. So that's the best way to put it. And yours just went crazy for a hot minute. So
but I wanted my gut healed first because I knew, like, anything I ate, I got bloated. You know, we even did some tests. You know, obviously I wanted to know. I was determined to know what I'm sensitive to and all these things. And I did all the tests and found out like so much stuff. If it wasn't for her, I would not know half the stuff that we found. Like she said, the hashies, even like SIBO, the H. pylori, like all this stuff that I would like nobody wanted to check. And now like finally we know what's wrong and we're working on it, and no one was ever willing to do that until Ashley.
Functional tests are amazing. Obviously they are going to be out of pocket. That's a crappy thing, but it gives you so much information. It's like, it just feels good to know that. We did a Dutch test with where we did a GI map test that test your poop, see what's going on in your guts. We did an MRT test with test like food sensitivities. So it was, you know, just gave us all the pieces to the puzzles that were kind of missing too, and it gave her more information. It made her feel like, okay, there is hope, you know, we can fix this. So
then we knew, like, it wasn't just guessing. Like, we knew what was wrong, and I loved that. Like, I loved being able to finally, after years, just knowing, like, you know, I was borderline hashies and things like that.
Yeah, you caught it before it got worse, so that's the good thing. You would have been really up shit creek.
I know.
You know what I mean? So I have a potty mouth, people. So if you don't like it, plug your ears. All right. So, you know, what were your main goals that you wanted to achieve coming into the this program with me? What were your like your top, maybe the top 3 main goals?
My main goal was, obviously I wanted to lose weight because I was at my heaviest, but she wasn't about that. She was like, we need to heal you first, and then we'll worry about weight loss. I'm like, but I really want to lose weight. So I'm glad I listened to her because she's right. So by healing the gut, the side effect was I lost weight. So, and that to me, like that was the most important thing. So I definitely needed to heal my gut because like I said, I couldn't eat certain foods, and I was afraid of eating. So I did get I finally got to my goal weight. So that was a plus. And even though people might have said, well, you hit your goal, why are you still there? Like, why are you still with her? And like, I tell her all the time, I'm just not ready to leave. You know, she's helped me so much that, you know, we still have like a little bit left with the hormones and just a little bit of like gut going on, but nothing is, I mean, it's truly a major, as you can see in the pictures, truly major difference.
I was big difference, like big difference.
And if I do bloat up or have gluten or something that's going to trigger me, I at least have the knowledge now. And that's kind of why I stayed around too, was for learning and knowledge. And so I know how to help myself down the road. And I know what I need to do if I accidentally had gluten, because that's something I did test for. and I know, okay, it takes, at least 48 hours to get out of my system. And just the knowledge, if I go up a pound or two, it's not because of actual food, it's because of, water retention or inflammation, but it'll be gone. It's literally gone in like 2 days. So
yeah, it affected you like a whole week. Normally it affected you like a whole week.
Yes. If I would have like one wrong thing at the beginning of the program, it was like a week, and I was so pissed off. And then I was so mad about everything. And she's like, just trust it. Just trust the process. And now that I'm healing, it doesn't take a week anymore. It's only like a day or two. So,
and it's nice to have a coach too, because you have someone to, vent when you're frustrated or stressed, or you just need that reassurance that you are on the right path, because many times we had to have that talk, you know what I mean?
Many times.
And we always came out, you know what I mean? We always got through it, so and that's another good reason, too, like why she stuck around too, because she knows she had someone to talk to, and and obviously the learning component and whatnot. So
right, like I'm still not, I'm not just gonna up and leave because I hit my goal weight. That wasn't it was my goal, but there's more to it.
Things change. And when you go through a journey, your goals change as you go through the journey. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, some people, like I have another girl too who's been with me about a year too. You can go into health. Once you're good with health, you can go more into lifestyle or performance. Like, you can have different goals. Like, a lot of people in the functional realm, even other functional coaches I know, they have coaches and they've been with them for years, just because it's nice to have someone and have that guidance, have that plan laid out. You know what I mean? Because we all need someone personally, you know what I mean, now in these days.
I know. And honestly, people probably, I know most probably just do their 3 months or whatever, but I recommend, like, it's just very good to, stay if you can to get fully healed. That way, because I don't want to be in a place where I didn't get healed enough and then I go backwards. Like, I want to make sure when I leave the program I am fully healed. So because I don't want to be trying any other new thing that comes out. I want to be able to eat and be normal. So
I hear you. I mean, it's kind of like the same thing like when I had my journey, fighting SIBO. I was fighting SIBO when you started with me, you know what I mean?
I remember.
And like, I even told you about my story and whatnot, and I finally overcame that. And that was through functional medicine, just like what Stacy did. I knew a lot of people get a little hesitant to, like, kind of bring up the supplements again, but you truly need them. That's how we're healing Stacy with these supplements, along with food and lifestyle. Like, it's a combination of all three, not just one thing. You know what I mean? You have to be willing to invest, that's one thing you have to be willing to do, especially if you're tired of feeling like utter crap and dealing with the symptoms. Because my question is to you, what are you going to do? Because what you did before didn't work. You know what I mean? So what's your next step? What would be your next plan? If you didn't per se like invest in me, what would you have done? Probably something you already did before.
Right. I know.
You probably would have been that.
I didn't know. Like, I was like, this is it. This has to work. I didn't know what else I was going to do. And
thanks for the pressure.
Yeah, I know. And it worked. Like, but I remember telling her, I'm like, I've tried everything. And what, really messed me up to getting to my highest weight ever was, they told me I was having a Lyme flare up, and I went on an antibiotic, and it was just horrible. My stomach, I gained 8 pounds in 3 weeks, and I told them I went off of this. I went off of this antibiotic. My stomach's a mess, and that was it. Then it was like I was gaining weight every week. I was gaining a pound or two every week.
Doxycycline is horrible for you. It alters your gut microbiome, and that,
But I was on Doxy.
that stuff is hard on your system. It's just crazy how it can affect, because everything like all diseases start with the gut, you know. It's a lot of people don't understand, because your 70% of your immune system's in there. So if it gets, you know, if you have all the inflammation, it's going to affect, you know, everything, your hormones, your metabolism, your liver. Your liver's responsible for 10 to 15% of your BMR, which helps you burn fat, you know. So like I always say, your gut and your liver kind of hold hands, they work together. So if one's off, the other's going to be off. So that's why I always go in with most of my girls, we start with the gut protocol, because 90% of people need it. It's the truth.
And it's funny because some probably don't know they need it. At least I went in knowing I needed it, but friends have joined Ashley and they didn't realize, you know, that they needed it, and came out a lot.
After they did it. Until they did, like, well, maybe I was right.
I know. And honestly, like, I wasn't so sure, like, you know, about supplements. I'm like, is this, you know, they're all natural? How are they actually going to work? You know, because I just
it was from your negative experience. That's why you thought that, and that's what happens. A lot of people, I'm just like, it's the quality you were getting. It wasn't, you know what I mean? It wasn't medical grade. Like what I use is medical grade.
Right.
So.
And I was just, like, I don't even take Tylenol now, because I don't want anything to, you know, I'm healing, and it's like, I really don't need it, but, you know, I'm very, very cautious now, and the knowledge that I have now, I just know, I know what to do.
And I'll tell you one thing special here about Stacy. She did not want to work out at all. I couldn't get that girl to work out if I tried. The only thing I can get her to do is do some walking and yoga, and that was it. And she still made progress. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the reason why I push working out with, you know, for a lot of people, at least 3 times a week, just because it can help with blood sugars, help with tightening and toning. But she just didn't like it. She just doesn't want to do it. But see, she's this prime example. You can still make progress, essentially, as long as you give me some walking and yoga.
Yes, and I didn't even do the walking and yoga, because she would be messaging me like, I need you to walk. And I'm like, oh, I'll try. And then she'll message me another couple weeks, I need you to walk. I literally didn't even walk, guys. Like, probably for the first 6 months, I didn't do it. Like, we didn't even have a workout plan, because I said no. Like, I just can't. And now I do the yoga. I was like, oh, this makes me actually feel good. Like, I feel relaxed. My muscles are stretched. I realized how good I felt. I'm not into hardcore working out, cardio and stuff at all. Some people love it and thrive on it, but I told her, I'm like, that's one thing I hate. And it just proves so I officially lost 30 pounds, and that was with like no weightlifting, no running.
That's amazing.
But
just attacking your root causes.
I know. But now, I mean, I do walk a couple of times a week, but it's nothing major. So that's about it.
Yeah, you walk more now than you ever did. You know what I mean?
I walk more. Yeah, I hit my goal and I started walking.
That's good. Probably too because you felt better about yourself. But I mean, overall, this should kind of help, you know, people kind of, you know, obviously you give them inspiration, you know what I mean, that you can heal, you can feel better, and just about like how in depth and involved my program is, how involved I'm with in your life, essentially, you know what I mean? You know, because we do weekly check-ins. I check in with people like once during the week. You can message me, you know, pretty much anytime you want to when you sign up, you know, for my 3 months. Like, well, we're keeping in contact, you know what I mean? So I do require communication. If you don't give me communication, how can I help you? You know what I mean? And Stacy pretty much messaged me every day.
I did. I was either a mess and I needed help, or like I just needed someone to keep me going, because I was so I don't know, like. Yeah.
You cracked me up.
I'm
like, oh, there's Stacy again.
And I'm like, I'm sorry, but I just was such a mess.
Well, that's why you had me.
Yeah.
That's what you paid. That's what you paid for the services for. So, you know, Miles used it. You used it.
Definitely used it. Yes. But, you know, any little thing or a trigger, like I needed her to know so that she could help me more.
Yeah. And that's how we got so far we did too, because you gave me so much information.
Yeah.
Honestly. You know what I mean?
Have something and it made me bloat, I would tell her, even if it was gluten free and dairy free, and the oats, for some reason I can't have it.
Yeah, some people can't digest the fiber in the oats. My husband's like
Yeah.
that too. I think even like my co-coach Mandy, she said for like 6 months she couldn't have oats either, and she had Hashimoto's too.
Yeah. Okay.
So I just think some people just can't digest it. It's just a really weird thing,
Yeah.
which
And then
sucks
with
because they're delicious.
I know, and I just felt like the more knowledge, like the more information I would give you, or like an experience I had or something, then the more you could help me. So it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
really good to stay in contact,
yeah.
and I just feel like you know, with the whole like oat situation and stuff, yeah, someday I'll be able to. And I did have a poor digestion system because it's low stomach acid, not high. So they were trying to
Yep,
give me Nexium for high stomach acid, and it's not. I wasn't digesting my food. I remember
exactly.
telling you I had such bad gas. I forgot that was on the list. It was horrible.
Yeah. No
Because
more
it was,
stinky rotten eggs.
I know I have not. That is actually a major, major thing
Because that's
because
embarrassing.
it is. It is so embarrassing, but my food wasn't digesting and it was just sitting in there basically fermenting. Like just I was so bloated, I wasn't going to the bathroom. It was just sitting and it just I had such bad gas that like yeah, like my son and husband, they didn't even want me in the house.
Oh my
So
God, that's so
I
funny.
know it was horrible. So now that's gone. Like I'm so happy about that because now like I realized that was like toxins in my body that's sitting there. And now that I'm
Yeah.
regular, I'm getting it out and that's really important. I didn't know that.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely learned a lot. So, but
I know.
but yeah, but yeah, I appreciate you doing this live, with me, and hopefully we gave some people some, insight,
Yeah.
inspiration, and if they feel like, they need to reach out to you, maybe ask some questions about
Right.
your journey, to feel comfortable, or if they just want to reach out to me just to, talk to me, ask me a couple questions, or even set up like a free call with me just to fill it out and just see if it's right for you. Like I'm more than willing, what I mean? I'm open to
Yeah.
it. So I'm not going to force anybody to do anything they don't want to do, but I'm just here to help people feel better. It's just what I do, and I
Yeah.
like doing it. So,
Your passion
but
is making people feel good and mine's making
yeah.
people feel pretty.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Right.
Yes, yes, yeah. But I guess I don't know if anybody's on. Want to ask any questions before we hop off here? We'll like I'll stay on for a couple minutes
Yeah.
here. But I'll give it a second. Does anybody have any questions for me or Stacy? I'll let it. Oh, I know the thing's kind of slow sometimes, so maybe I'll just like let it go here for like 30 seconds or whatever. But if
Okay.
you're a female on here and you need some makeup, Stacy got you on that.
Got
She's
you
the
on
farm.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, she's always have her makeup on. I'm like, I don't wear a lot of makeup, but I do wear the primer from Pharmacy, and that's probably like one of the best primers I ever had. So,
Yeah. So I can
I
make
do
you
like it.
look good and she can make you feel good.
Mm.
We're a duo
That's a great
team.
that's a great combo
I
right there. Tell you what,
know.
pretty in the inside and outside.
Yeah. Pretty on the inside and outside. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Well, I don't think anybody has any questions, but you guys can always leave
Yeah.
comments, whatever. One of us can answer. But otherwise, I'm gonna hop off and
All
get
right.
finishing up my evening, and I'll talk to you later. Well, thank you.
Oh,
Uh,
actually, Dominique said that was actually a major factor in what helped me was meal prepping. And I had told Ashley that. And actually, when people message me, that's the first thing they ask about. And honestly, meal prepping is what saved me because I'm not running to, you know, Sheets or whatever,
Drive
McDonald's.
through.
Yeah, like I just would do that, but I would think I was eating healthy because I would do like a salad with a bunch of stuff in it though. So like
Yeah.
it was crazy. I mean, I'm still eat out and do things and make better choices, but meal prepping definitely saved me and Ashley can
I mean,
tell you more about
yeah.
that.
I mean, a lot of my clients, I suggest meal prepping. A lot of them,
Hmm.
they won't care for, I mean, who really does like meal prepping? But once they do it, they realize how much it actually helps
Oh
them
yeah.
stay the course, stay on track, not grabbing this or that because they're so hungry. They're not patient to cook something. So they're going to grab
Yeah.
like what's in the cupboard, probably cookies and chips. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So for me, I meal prep. It's just so second nature now. I don't even think about it.
Right.
I just do it, you know?
And that's the
So
same with me. Like I've been doing it now for almost a year, and somebody had asked Alexis knows, yes, Friday night I get a steak salad from her. um, so the biggest thing that everybody always asks me is, don't you get tired of, eating the same thing for 4 or 5 days in a row? And it's not, because it's good food. I enjoy it. And I've always been like a leftover person. But because it's like food that I like,
Yeah.
and you can work when she'll ask you, like, what don't you like? Personally, I don't like sweet potatoes. So we worked around that. And like, that's the best part is she'll not make you have something you don't want. Like, she'll work with you.
Because that's the only way you're going to be successful. Right. You got to make sure you like your food.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
it wasn't like it was horrible food and I didn't want it tomorrow. It was good food and I was looking forward to it. So like, I can eat the same thing for 4 or 5 days. And yeah.
Same here.
Because it's easy, it's convenient, it saves money, and it's good.
Mm-hmm.
So why not,
Exactly. So
yeah.
All right. Well, I think I'm gonna get skedaddling here now.
Alrighty.
I had some clients message me, so I got to get back to them.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I will talk to you later. Okay.
Alrighty.
All right, bye.